What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Oh, don't mind this dog over here. Get out of here, dog. Get. Wanted to make a video today. Saw kind of an interesting, I've seen this a few times in a few different groups, including the one that I started. And if you want to check that out, it's on Facebook, and it's called The Reselling Beasts. I'll put a link in the description down here so you can just click on it. But the reason I wanted to make this video is I see a lot of posts where people talk about, they say, oh, I don't sell items. I'll give you an example. I saw one lady who said, I don't sell items unless I don't spend more than $5, and I don't buy anything that I can't profit more than 40 plus. To me, that's a ridiculous position. Now, it depends if you're doing this as a hobby, full-time. It depends on, obviously everybody can run their business the way they want to. And I say that really because there are some people who just do this as a hobby, and that's fine. But if you're running this like a business, hoping to, quit your job and make money, yeah, of course it would be nice to buy an item for $5 and sell it for 40 all day long. But you're not going to come across those all the time. And the sales velocity on items like that are slower. So people say, oh, I don't buy anything that I can't, if I make a $5 or $10 profit, I don't even bother with it. Really? That's not, no, I mean, a profit is a profit. Buying something for $5 and selling it for 10 plus shipping, the heck's wrong with that? Sure, you're not going to. Now, if you do that one time, like if you find a shirt that you get for, let's say, $4 and you sell it for 10, and you do that once, no, you're not going to get rich. But what if you were able to do that 10 times a day for a week, every day, consistently? So you sell, you make $10 profit, you sell 10 items, so that's $100 a day, $700 a week. You're going to tell me that's no good? But people always want the $5, sell it for 40, and they want to do that 10 times. Well, of course, wouldn't we all want to do that? But that's not the way it works. Now, again, if you just sell if you sell one item a month or something for like $100, and you're just using this to supplement your income or part-time, that's different. But I'm talking about, look at major retailers. Look at Walmart, look at Target, look at all those places. The majority of their items, probably I would say 80 to 90% of their items are not, I get it for $5, I sell it for $300 or $100 or whatever. That's not the way those businesses work. That's also not what's made them successful. A lot of their success, like Walmart, is actually because their margins are so razor thin, but they sell such a high volume of stuff that they've been able to dominate the market. Now, of course, Amazon, that's a whole other animal, but I'm talking about retail. You can't really compare Amazon to Walmart in a whole lot because you can't buy used stuff at Walmart. For new stuff, yes, but Amazon is a whole other thing. But I'm talking about a retailer. Like Walmart got successful by basically undercutting everybody. And yeah, nobody likes a race to the bottom and all that stuff. But what I'm saying is Walmart does not operate on, 1,000% return on investment. They get like 50, 60 maybe. But again, they do it consistently over time, every day, and that adds up. So for me, yes, there are some items like last week. I like the home runs too. I've got a few in the last couple weeks. Like I bought a shirt for $5 and I sold it for $70. That's a home run. I bought a pair of jeans for 20 and sold them for 69. That's a nice home run. I'll take it. Those don't happen all the time. It's just like in baseball. You don't get a home run every time you get up to the plate. Your goal is not to get a home run. It's to get on base. It's to get a hit. To improve your on-base percentage, your average. I've said this many, many times. If you get up to bat in baseball and you get a hit or you get on base 3 out of every 10 times you're at bat, you're in the Hall of Fame. That's Hall of Fame category right there. It's the same thing with selling online. You don't need a home run every single time. And you shouldn't be looking for one every single time. Sorry about that. This damn thing keeps falling. There we go. You shouldn't be looking for home runs every single time. You should be looking just to get those base hits, get the 5, 10. That's how you build up your feedback. That's how you build up to get to top rated. I mean, it's gonna, unless you have a source where you can get, brand new electronics for, really, really dirt cheap and sell them, like you can get them for 10 and sell them for 100. That's awesome if you have the right volume. But the average person, those kind of margins just aren't there all the time, at least consistently. Like I have a lot of products that I sell that don't, that are higher priced and they don't move as much, but the lower price stuff moves all the time. And I've built up enough, because I've done that consistently so much, I've built up a nice little chunk of money in my PayPal account where that pays for all new inventory. I don't have to use any personal funds. I just recycle. I just keep repeating the same cycle. Buy 5, sell it for 10 or 15 or whatever. You don't have to. You shouldn't be going for those home runs every time. Yeah, they're out there. You'll come across a nugget or two every. I come across usually something like that maybe once a week. But the majority of the time, 90% of the items I sell are not big ticket, $100 items. Plus, you have less of a chance for returns with those smaller items. People are less likely to return something like, if, let's say they buy a piece of clothing, and they pay $10 for it. It might be a little too big or a little bit too small. You can put measurements in there and all that, but sometimes, clothes are what they are. So you can make it a little bit too big or they can be a little bit too small. But more than likely, if somebody just paid, $10 for it, most of the time they'll just say, it was only $10. That's all right. But if you're selling something for like 50, 60, 70, and it doesn't fit, well, yeah, they're more likely to return it. Or if you're selling electronics or something very high priced, when the money gets high, they're more likely to investigate, check everything, make sure that every single thing is perfect. I love selling smaller items. It's great, it's just fun. And like I said, I've been able to do that consistently over time, and I've been able to, do great. Like I said, I made top rated seller a couple weeks ago. I've only been seriously selling on eBay for less than 2 months. I've had an account since 2006, but I only seriously really got heavy into eBay September 1st, or basically Labor Day. And I hit top rated seller already, and I'll tell you, when I was in sales, I did primarily phone sales since 2001-ish, something like that. And I learned, I read this book, and I highly suggest you pick it up. You can get an audio version or the printed version, whatever works best for you. But there's a book, and it changed my life. It's called The Slight Edge, and it talks about this exact concept that I'm talking about consistently over time. And that's where I learned it. And he talks about that, where he says, you know, basically it's not about, it's kind of like going to the gym. You know, everybody, the gym is a perfect example of it. You know, everybody around January, they always, you know, New Year's resolution. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to lose weight. This is going to be awesome. Okay, great. That's an awesome goal to have. So you go to the gym, and what happens? Most people, they go for a week or two. They work out for a week or two, really hardcore. And after 2 weeks, they look in the mirror and they still look the same. You know, what they don't see like, they want to look like the, you know, if you're a guy, you want to look like the weightlifter guy, or you want to look, you know, fit and cut. You know, if you're a girl, you want to look like the model, or whatever goal you're trying to get to. And after 2 weeks, you don't look like that. So most people, 80 to 90% of the people give up. Because they don't look like that. What they don't see is underneath, they are transforming inside first. You know, it takes a while. It takes a long time. Everything. There's no get rich quick. There's no lose weight fast. It takes time. You know, sometimes 6 months, a year. And the changes are so subtle, you know, you barely even notice them when they are happening. You know, you'll have something like, you know, the best example is I worked out for a long time, and I still do occasionally, and I'm going to start up again. But it'll be weird, like, you'll be working out for 6 months, and you think you look the same, but then you put on a piece of clothing that you haven't worn in 6 months, and all of a sudden it fits a lot tighter than it used to. You know, or the opposite, or it's a lot bigger than it used to be. But you don't see that over time because you see yourself every day. You know, it's kind of like when you still think, a lot of people still think they look the same as they did 10 years ago. But when you look at a picture of yourself 10 years ago, you're like, oh crap. It's because you don't notice the changes because they're so small and they happen over time, that it's kind of blind to it. It's the same thing here. You have to go, my philosophy is I go for the base hits consistently. I get the home runs too, you know, probably one a week or once every 2 weeks. But it's all about volume. Get stuff people want to buy, you know, 10 items a day or whatever it is, $5, $10 profit, you know, and then sure, then you get rewarded with those home runs. But don't always go for the home runs. Don't always ignore the little things in the thrift store or in Walmart or whatever. You know, I'll give you another example. Yesterday I went to, one habit that I try to create for myself is whenever I go to the store for something, it doesn't matter if it's groceries or whatever it is, if I have to go to a store for some reason, I always try to at least find items to source that will help pay for what I just bought. So example, yesterday I had to go to Walmart to pick up some supplies. I needed some packing tape and some shrink wrap. I needed that stuff. So when I was in there, I said, okay, well, since I'm here, let me see if I can find something or a few things in here that will, you know, pay for this trip. So I found 3 items that sell for $20 a piece, brand new, on eBay. I picked them up so that's $60. I picked them up for $3 a piece, so that's $9. Okay, so now I'm down to $51. I offered free shipping on there because they're stupidly light. So with the discount and all that, it'll probably cost me about $2.50 each. So what's that? That's another $5, so that's $7.50. So that's $40.50. No, $42.50, something like that. So now I'm profiting $42.50. So say fees with everything, with eBay and PayPal and all that. What are the fees? Like 15% total. So that's another $6. So that'll be what, $37.50? Well, I spent on the tape was $8, and the shrink wrap was $8. So that's $16. So not only will I pay for the shrink wrap, but I'll also profit another $16. But again, that's the way I do things. So think about that, guys. Check that book out. Like I said, the name of the book is The Slight Edge. It changed my life. It changed everything. This is another example. This right here. And I'm a hypocrite because, again, I smoke. I've been smoking since I was probably about 14 or 15. So when I smoke one cigarette, does that mean I'm an unhealthy person? Absolutely not. When I smoke a pack, does that mean I'm an unhealthy person? No, I don't get cancer by smoking one cigarette. Nobody does. There's no set amount of cigarettes you smoke to get cancer. If there was, everybody would just stop before you got to that number. But it's consistently doing this every day over and over, consistently over time, adds up to a disaster. And I know that. I'm not stupid. I know smoking's bad for you and all that other stuff, but it's the same exact concept. So I just wanted to share that. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Make sure, again, you check out our page, Reselling Beasts, on Facebook. We're a small community. We're trying to grow. Help us. You know, we're really fun. Well, take care, guys. Have a good day.